ESPN 620. How are you today?
Doing pretty good, brother. How about you?
Can't complain. Just got this. I'm topping it off my drive, but working on it tomorrow. Got a lesson with Steve Dalby tomorrow, so hopefully I can get this driver figured out. So then I'll call you to play. I mean, 'cause I keep calling you to play, but you have so many Cardinal ambassador things you do. So
and they're all on the golf course.
Yes, exactly.
Rocky's kind of a big deal. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
He wasn't until he started coming on our show.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what happened?
Right, Frank?
That's what you say, yes.
All right, Frank, something that Jimmy B and myself have not been, and that's drafted. Well, maybe. Were you drafted for military or anything?
No.
Okay. All right, so Jimmy B and I haven't been drafted. Minucci's been drafted. So take us back when you got drafted by the Phoenix. Was it the Phoenix Cardinals at that time, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's the same year that I started when I worked for the Cardinals. So was it 92, 93? When was it?
No, I got drafted in 1995. You're a couple of years before me.
Oh, I was before you. Okay. So, but we have that in common. We both worked for the Cardinals. But take us to 95 and where you were and how it all went down when you're hanging out with your friends at Auburn and you get drafted. You get the phone call from the Cardinals.
One of the funny things about that is that my Mel Kiper said I would probably be the fourth receiver taken in the draft, either late first or the great Mel Kiper, late first or early second round. And Nostradamus came to pass as he normally do in some of his picks. The Cardinals took me in the second round. The first three receivers that went before me, they were considered to go before me anyway. Here's the deal. Dave Atkins came to the Singing Bowl and said, "Hey, I want to let you know Buddy Ryan likes you." And he said, "Hey, just keep doing what you're doing, but Buddy Ryan likes you." And I said, "Okay, well, that was a nice statement, but I didn't know who the Arizona Phoenix Cardinals were at that time, but I only knew them as the St. Louis. I'm a kid out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, growing up watching Miami Dolphins, actually liking the Dallas Cowboys, and my dad was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. My name is Frank for Frank O'Hara, so from that standpoint.
Wow.
I know that, Frank.
Wow.
The draft in itself becomes, I give you some information, right?
Yeah, this is good.
The draft flows as, I'm actually home at this time and back in Fort Lauderdale with the family. There's a guy from Dallas that's in my house saying, "Hey, if the phone rings, let me know." The Dallas Cowboys had the 45th pick. The Cardinals had the 46th pick in the second round. At that same year, Alvin Harper, who was the other receiver for the Dallas Cowboys alongside of Michael Irvin, he had got traded and went to Tampa Bay. And so, or as a free agent, he went to Tampa Bay. And so I thought it was either Dallas. I definitely thought I was going to Dallas because the guy from Dallas was in the house. So this is a nervous moment in itself. The draft is happening. Of course, this is 95. So there is a ticker tape at the bottom more so than, going to the draft and having all the social media that we have now for these guys to stay in tune with.
Lo
and behold.
Go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, and then so lo and behold, man, the phone rings and it's Dave Atkins, and he says, "Hey, it's Coach Atkins with the Arizona Cardinals." He says, "Hey, I'm getting ready to. I told you Frank Buddy likes you, and if you're there, man, we're going to draft you, with the second round pick." And I was like, "Okay, great." And I said, "That'd be great." So I immediately told the guy from Dallas, "Hey, the Cardinals are getting ready to draft you. You need to do something." He calls the war room. They don't even answer the phone. They don't even answer the phone. They take. He flips out the flip phone. The Cowboys doesn't answer the phone. They take Sherman Williams out of Alabama, running back, and who was supposed to replace or be behind Emmitt Smith. And then the Cardinals draft me. Funny thing about that, right before I didn't mention this, but right before they draft me, I say, "God, I don't care where you send me. Send me someplace warm and a team that needs me." Because the family in the house, they tell me where they want you to go, and I was like, "God, I don't care where you send me. Just send me someplace warm and a team that needs me." And then I get the phone call, and then I get picked with the Cardinals.
But who was it last week that had a Dallas guy in the room but didn't?
Oh man, who was that? Yeah, it was kind of similar. He was hovering at the house the whole day.
I think Dallas is known for just planning
around,
planning coaches in people's houses, but they don't end up drafting.
Well, and Frank, it's interesting because I know when I was getting drafted in those years, the Cowboys were like the first team to call the once the draft was over. The free agents that were available, they were on the horn. They must have had 90 guys calling free agents. I mean, they were on top of it. That's how advanced they were.
Yeah, it was a really interesting moment to have somebody in the house.
Yes,
just to say that someone's in your house as a draft that someone's getting ready to draft you, a team ready to draft you. There's 31 other, at this time, there's 30 other teams, so 29 other teams. So it's like, you're here, so that must mean you must be really interested in drafting me. But it didn't go that way, and I'm actually glad it didn't, because I didn't want to be in Dallas. I wanted to be somewhere that was warm and a team that needs me. Buddy Ryan, the year before, gets rid of Randall Hill, Reggie Sanders, and Ricky Prohl. Those three receivers are out. He takes the first-round draft pick and trades for Rob Moore from the Jets, and then he brings me in, and so the rest is history from there.
So for the Cardinals, let's assume they're going to pick defense or offense at number 16.
Opposed to what?
As opposed to getting that home run hitter, because they might get an edge rusher, might get defense line,
defense, right?
Linebacker.
You just said if they're going to go defense or they're going to go offense.
Well, I mean, excuse me, defensive line or offensive line. Let me.
It's a tough
That's
crowd.
Hey,
Frank, they're old, man. They're old, man.
No.
They're not young like you and I.
Frank and I are on the same page. He knows what I'm talking about. So you go offense, defense. What I'm talking about is the lineman. When do you pick that home run wide receiver? In the second round, you only got 6 picks. So you get whomever at that number 16. Do you get the home run hitter at the next pick?
You know what's funny, man? I've been listening to the Cardinals and paying attention just like you guys have. They've been really close to the vest, and I think the reason why they are is because of number 16. Anything can happen between, the 10th and the 20th pick, and so there's desperate teams that might want to make some trades. For me, I think, when you look at what they've done this offseason, they've done a very good job this offseason in free agency. Something we've been asking for the last couple of years, but they was aggressive this year. They went out and bought some guys in that we needed to bring in from a defensive standpoint. So I thought that was pretty good. So when you look at where we are now, it's either going to be a home run guy, home run hitter and receiver wise, or it's going to be an offensive lineman. And I think we can't go wrong on any decision we're making with that pick.
So are you saying that they might even be trading up or trading down?
I think it depends on what's at the table. We've watched Monty walk away with last year, almost 12 picks last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
So when you look at how savvy he's been in the draft since he's been at the helm as the general manager, it's really, I think he's waiting to see what's going to be offered out there on the table or what teams seem to be hungry. To only have 6 picks for the Cardinals, that's kind of like really, that's different because we haven't had that less of numbers in the last couple of years. We haven't been a great team, so we was definitely up closer in the first top 10 picks in the draft the last couple of years. But when you look at it, I just think he's waiting for the right offer to make a decision. I really do.
Yeah, I think draft picks are important, but they need to win now, don't they?
This is that year.
This is
the
it.
year 3.
Year 3, right?
I would agree with you guys, and we can say that that's being verified by what they've done this offseason. Mm-hmm. We could say that they've really gone out now in offseason. They've gotten what they needed defensively. They brought other pieces in. We got a veteran backup quarterback right now. That's something we've been asking for a couple of years as well. And at the same time, like we're getting what we're asking from Mike. So you can't take that away from him and what he's done organizationally, and what Monty has also done with JG and our coaching staff. So we've been asking for this team to get to a certain place. We've watched them do that this offseason. So you got to, tip your hat to that moment. Of course, the draft is very important to us because we still need that. Those receivers that get the ball down the field, and we need depth, offensive line and defensive line. I think they've covered it defensive line-wise this offseason, but our offensive line needs some depth, and we definitely need speed in our secondary as well as our receiving core.
Frank, you were a wide receiver at the highest level for many, many years. How difficult do you foresee Travis Hunter playing receiver and cornerback or slot back, whatever that is, and how much, if he did, could you see him playing a game where offense is around 65, 70 plays. Defense, you might be out there for 50, 55 plays.
Yeah. I really see him. I think he's a better cornerback than he is a receiver, without a doubt. I think it's a lot easier to be a guy that's reacting to a situation than actually responding to the actual defenses that are out there. Remember, when we watched Travis Hunter in college and the stuff he did, he ran hitch routes, he ran stop routes, he ran go routes. And that was basically it. He never really ran shallow crosses or slants or dig routes. He never was the primary guy. And I'm saying primary in regards to, you have to be the guy that you're getting number one defense. That's a couple of games you saw that. The NFL is really, really hard, man. And what is hard on your body, because you got men landing on you and with bad intentions. And so this ain't college. These are they got bad intentions out there.
These are men, grown men.
Grown men, Rock. And I just say, like, man, it's not something You see it all the time. Guys having to duck, get down on the ground. The physicality of the NFL, they don't run to you. The desire is to run through you. He's a small receiver, so a small DB. I think he's a better DB. If it comes to the percentage, I would probably say I would prefer to see him play defense 80% to 20% as a receiver. But that's going to have to be a special case. We saw this before with Dion. We saw it with Devin Hester. We saw it with Patrick Peterson. Those situations don't last that long.
You were talking about all these routes, but how about button hook? 10-yard button hook. They do button hook,
hitch, hook. Hitch is a 5-yard hitch.
That's what I remember when I used to
back
go
to 12.
Play Nerf. Telephone pole.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's that street football.
Yeah, just go 10 and turn around. That's a button hook, or just do a slant. And I'll throw it. It'll be up there. You'll catch it. You and I would connect. I could see Rocket Sanders, man. I could see just hurling up that Nerf, and you would be putting. Man, I would have made you a first rounder if you were my wide receiver at Auburn.
Rock, I believe you would have absolutely done that first rounder on the bench, and I'm just so grateful to know that you would have sought out your boy like that.
Absolutely, man. I get that tight spiral with that Nerf. I don't even need the Nerf with the little the wings on it. I don't need that one. I can go telephone pole. I've challenged Minuch in a quarterback, but challenged I could throw it farther than him, but he won't take it. So, but I get to use the Nerf, and he's got to use an NFL football.
Rock, I believe you're athletic in your mind and in your heart. I really do.
Hey, before we let you go, you've seen a lot of drafts. Do you anticipate this one to be wild, or is it just going to be maybe one or two moves and then status quo?
I think status quo, man. I really do. At the end of the day, we're arguing about three quarterbacks. One that they know that's automatically going to be taken. The two and everybody else is all gambles down the road. But we know that the top three guys that should be picked and will be picked are the top three that they're talking about. Everybody else is gambles that make it interesting. And where they go, no matter where they go, they're going to, struggling and challenging situations. And so if the quarterback, and I mean this from the quarterback standpoint, if they can handle what they've handled in college, they're going to struggling situations. So it might be status quo for me. I don't look at it to be something special. I really don't. After the first 3-4 picks, everyone's just waiting on Shadur's name to get called, and then they're going to start writing their essays after that.
So you just go deep, and I'll get it to you. All right, just go deep.
Like that's what I'm talking about, Rock.
Just go deep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just go deep.
Hey, Frank, with him, you got to keep it simple with Rock here now.
Go
keep
deep.
It simple, stipping. No.
Yeah, it was like button hook and then a slant, right? That's all you did in street ball.
Yeah, no split right 63 exposed
none of that crap. No.
H-back Y settled.
No, run down by the car.
Yes.
And hook left.
Yes. The Volkswagen, take a left. Yep. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you.
Manuch, I need you to give him a play call one day and write it down and let him read it, and then give him on a wristband, let him read it on the air and see how that goes.
I might still have the old wristband myself there.
He probably still has it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank, as always, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys, man. Have a good one.
You too. That's Frank Sanders joining us here on Rock Minuch with Jimmy B. Is brought to you today by the Taco Spot. So Taco Fanatics, for all the best tacos in town, you have to visit the Taco Spot and experience the tacos to talk about. And tomorrow's Taco Tuesday, $2. That's right, $2 tacos at participating locations. I think there's 17, 18 locations now. All day long, the Taco Spot for a location near you. And they're everywhere. They're opening weekly. Head to tacospotaz.com. That's tacospotaz.com. All right, we got our Learning Row. One call, that's all. And it has to do with Nico Harrison. That's next right here on ESPN 620. At Vans Golf Show.